Hi, I'm Emma Dillon. I'm the Professional Nurse Advocate Lead at Northampton University. How I came to be lucky enough to have that role was I'm a mental health nurse, a mental health nurse academic by background, and lots of the content and the ethos of Professional Nurse Advocate were areas I've been very passionate about for a long, long time, including restorative supervision, wellbeing, quality improvement. So it was like a really natural fit for me, and I'm very lucky to have the role as module lead at Northampton. The PNA module at Northampton obviously aligns with the national PNA educational standards and obviously maps to the AEQUIP model. So that's the framework that we work to. It is very much focused on the key elements of AEQUIP, so the restorative supervision, psychological safety, quality improvement, education, but we really try and focus on the well-being and the restorative nature of the programme, because it's really important that as well as the nurses attaining obviously the elements of the programme, but that we look after them and give them an opportunity to restore and almost undergo or participate in what they will be delivering as PNAs. So I think our key to our delivery is about psychological well-being and some time to have some restorative elements for themselves. I think that's what we really focus on. Obviously, the programme is funded by NHS England, so the central office then divide the funding to regional leads, and then they allocate the spaces. So we have worked with nurses and midwives all over the country, which has been fantastic in terms of networking for the participants of the course as well as for us. The funding is due to stop, I believe, in 2024-25. So we have had some interest as well about what happens after that. And we've also linked with our regional PNA leads as well. So it's a really nice way of working, because you've got that national sort of networking, and then you've got your regional networking to develop those real strong communities of professional nurse advocate. Feedback at University of Northampton, obviously I'm going to be biased, but we have had very positive feedback. I think one of the things that has cropped up as our journey's developed is about who comes forward for the course. It's important that the individual and their line manager are fully aware of what the course entails, so they're prepared for it and they have some restorative time rather than feeling it's an added pressure. So I think that's important. We provide a lot of upfront material with course dates, submission dates, what the course would entail. We try and work very closely with our admissions team to make enrolment as smooth as possible, because that can be stressful. And we try and keep in touch with our PNAs once they've actually graduated from the course, and see how they're getting on. And we've seen some really positive stories from some of the PNAs who worked with us. So that's great to keep that connection. If you're interested in doing the PNA modules, first thing I would do is find out as much as you can about it. Speak to people in your organisations that may have completed it. Have a read on the NHS England website. There's so much information around there, but do that so that you're sure it's something you want to take part in. Think about your time. When is the best time for you to do it? Because there's modules running, all over the year, so you don't necessarily have to do it right now. Maybe in a few months is a better time for you in relation to work, family, etc. Think about the level of the work. It is level 7, academic level 7. So, do you feel ready for that? If you're not, maybe you want to do a little bit of pre-work before the course. But I would really just speak to other people and have a real moment of reflection and think, is this the right time for me to do it before you start? But I would encourage people to have a look at it, because I think it has a real lot to offer you as an individual as well as an organisation and a nursing community. The PNA training has actually been a great mythbuster, particularly around supervision, particularly around wellbeing. Within the nursing world, I think there's lots of preconceived ideas and perhaps negative experiences particularly around supervision. And restorative clinical supervision is very different, and if delivered well, it is an excellent vehicle, I suppose, for individuals, for the organisation, and ultimately for the patients. So I think people have really been surprised at how positive supervision can be. I think the other myth is around well-being. I think as nurses, historically, we've kind of believed that we have to be strong and, you know, cope with everything, whereas actually the course really unpicks that, and really demonstrates how human we are. And it's really important that we do recognise and speak up when we're not feeling great, or have had a very difficult day, or maybe home life is difficult. So I think they're the two key myths that I've really seen be busted. And people may start the course thinking, oh, you know, I don't need to know about well-being, or supervision's rubbish, and they leave the course with a very different mindset. So I think they're the two key myths that are being busted, that are so important for us as a group, a community of nurses. We need to look after ourselves, to look after other people, and to support, you know, the next generation of nurses. So I think they're the two key myths that I've seen.